Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. As I promised yesterday, I am back with another project featuring the brand new Jeff Alpha from Pinkfresh Studio. I absolutely love this modern alphabet die set, and because it includes not only the letters but a shadow layer, there are so many possibilities. The etched lines on the letters themselves add for a really cool modern touch that also adds a lot of texture, so they kind of grab the light when you use them on metallic cardstocks like I'm doing today. Now, I am using the same colors of cardstock that I used in my project yesterday, and I will have all of the colors linked in the YouTube description below. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there because I will have it all linked below. Now, today I'm creating a mini slimline card. So I have a piece of scrap paper that I'm cutting to 3 1/4 by 6 1/4 inches, and then I'm going to cover it with some tape runner adhesive. I have strips of the colored cardstock that I'm using, and I actually kind of messed this version up. It didn't turn out exactly like I wanted, and so you're gonna see me create a mess up and then create the real thing too. So it's like a bonus. Now, I added all the strips of colored cardstock onto this piece of scrap paper using that tape runner adhesive, and then I trimmed off the excess. Then I grabbed this mini slimline die set from Pinkfresh Studio. This is the diagonal stitched rectangle in that set, and I die cut my panel so that it had that really cool diagonal stitched line around the edge. And you can see I die cut the word joyful from this panel. And my vision was to create this one big connected window. And when I got done with this, I was like, this is just not right. It wasn't connecting the way I wanted it to, and so I decided to do it horizontal instead of vertical, which was my original plan, but I was having a hard time getting all the letters to fit horizontally across my mini slimline card. So I took the shadow layer that I die cut from this striped panel, and I took all of those pieces that I die cut and I lined up the letters how I wanted them to connect on my card front, and I held them together using a piece of low tack tape. Then I placed that grouping of die cut letters onto my card panel or my card front. I recreated a new striped card front, and I'm holding them in place with a piece of low tack tape along the top of the die. So this is the shadow layer, not the inner portion of the die. I just wanted to make that clear. And when I am done die cutting all of these letters, I'm gonna have one big connected window that spells out joyful. So all the letters are gonna overlap and create one large window. Now this would be really cool to create a shaker card as well. So keep that in mind, and you don't have to just use alphabets to do this, although this makes for a really cool finished card project. So I die cut the upper letters first. I obviously can't die cut all of them at once because the die cuts are gonna overlap, and the dies would overlap and wouldn't make contact. It would mess up the machine, all of those things. And now I'm going back and I'm putting that connected piece of letters back in place onto my card front, and I'm lining up the lower letters on this. So the O, the F, and the L. And this time I'm taping along the bottom of the dies so that I can use kind of this hinge method to then remove the under layer of those letters that I have in place. My L fell off and I had to kind of redo the bottom dies just a little bit because I felt like they weren't quite in line. So I brought in my T-square ruler and lined up the bottom of all of those dies, made sure that they were straight, and then I ran this through my die cut machine. And you're gonna see when I push out these die cuts, I have this one long connected window that spells out joyful. And I think this is such a cool, kind of very modern and graphic look. Now, one thing I did want to mention is that I did not die cut the O correctly, and that caused a little bit of problem lining things up. So this O is actually meant to be wider than it is taller, and I die cut it the opposite way to where it's taller than wider. It all worked out in the end, but if you are creating this card, remember that shadow layer of the O is actually wider than it is taller. Now I did take the die cut, the negative piece from that O, and I die cut the center out of it because this is included in the die set as well. And I wanted that little knockout in the center. Now I went ahead and added foam adhesive all over the back of this panel. And now I'm adding it to my mini Slimline card base. And that card base measures 3 1/4 by 6 1/4 inches. Now I attached that center part of the O using some foam adhesive, and now I'm taking and stacking up white die cut letters in the window of that joyful word. So some of them did have to overlap. I stacked up about 3 layers of plain white die cut letters, and then on top of that, I die cut some Concord and 9th matte gold cardstock and added the letters on top of those stacked white die cuts. So when all is said and done, those gold cardstock letters sit just slightly back from the foam mounted panel. Now to add just a little bit of fun and whimsy and a little bit more of a holiday feel, I went ahead and die cut these dainty blossoms from some white glitter cardstock, and I'm adding those where they overlap the L using a little bit of liquid adhesive. And then I added some of the magenta glitter drops for some berries. And I finished this card off by adding a sentiment strip that says tidings of great joy. And that is from the Pinkfresh Studio Ornaments stamp set. And that finishes off my card today featuring this single die cut connected window. I think it is so much fun. And with a die set like this, the great thing is you can really spell out anything that you want. And so you can really customize your cards. You could even do this with someone's name, and I think that would be so much fun. Now, as always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the description at YouTube. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. Or you can head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have that linked below as well. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. Now, if you want to join me over on Instagram today, we are celebrating this new Pinkfresh release with an Instagram hop. There's prizes and inspiration and more, so you'll want to check that out, and I'll have my Instagram linked in the video description below. As always, thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here on my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my paper crafting and card making video tutorials. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous and joyful day.